YouTube, what the crap's going on? It's Throwback Thursday. It's been a week since you've seen one, and it's because the last Throwback Thursday episode you saw, actually, I filmed it right before little Air was born, so I didn't get to film one last week because things were still kind of changing. Fortunately for y'all, though, I had filmed a whole bunch of stuff right before he was born, which is why I've been able to keep all the videos going, and now that things are settling in, it really shouldn't be an issue. But man, I'll tell you what, if you've ever wanted to make sure you don't get sleep, have a kid. It's definitely the way to go. Not trying to be discouraging, though. I mean, it's just part of life. And I guess when I find myself in this situation, I realize that my parents did it for me, so it's the least I can do to suck it up for my son. So I'm glad to have him. In any case, I mention him in every video. I'll try and be quiet about it, though, so that you all don't get sick of it. Let's get into some Alexander. And we're going to do the historical battles again, and this time we're going to be on the Battle of Halicarnassus. So enjoy the intro.
After victory at the river Granicus, Alexander installed Callus, commander of the Thessalian cavalry, as satrap at Dascylion. He then marched south towards the cities of Sardes and Ephesos, which promptly surrendered to him. Next, he sent Parmenion west to subdue the other Greek coastal cities in the region, and continued south with his main army towards the city of Miletos. With the help of a vastly superior Persian navy, Miletos provided stout resistance, but Alexander eventually outmaneuvered the defending army and claimed the city. Accepting that the Macedonian navy was no match for the Persians in open water, he sent it home. Alexander would instead defeat the Persian navy by capturing all of its bases along the coast. He now marched south again towards the heavily defended city of Halicarnassus, where Memnon had been gathering another army since his defeat at Granicus. At this time, Alexander would not let Memnon slip from his grasp.
Alright, so let's get started in the battle. This one's actually going to be probably a bigger challenge than the last two. That may be because I don't know the best way to play it yet, but it's a siege battle, obviously. And it gets a little bit nuts. There's a lot of Persian troops, and it leaves you in a somewhat crappy position, but I'll do my best to take them out here, although I doubt it may be like some kind of heroic victory for me.
The coastal city and port of Halicarnassus, 334 BC. With many Persian survivors from the defeat at Granicus regrouping within the strong walls, this could be a bloody encounter. Alexander is keen to avoid a lengthy siege, which would slow the impetus of his onslaught against the Persians. A determined assault against the walls by his hypaspists will allow his heavier troops access to the town itself. Resistance should crumble once the town center is taken. But information as to the exact number and quality of troops within the city walls is limited. Spearmen and archers have been sighted on the walls, including Persian immortals who wield both spear and bow. There is also evidence of fodder having been gathered for a number of horses. Though Alexander has a formidable force at his disposal, he will need to proceed with caution. A wrong move here could prove disastrous to his wider plans.
Alright, so one of our big challenges here is we're going to be getting hit by units that will actually sally out, if I remember this battle right. And there's going to be horse archers harassing us on the outside. So I'm going to go ahead and get my Cretan archers to engage those horse archers. And we're going to have to keep a close eye out on... let's see. I'm going to actually... Sorry, I'm just going to switch up some of my troop assignments here. I want to free up enough of the... Okay, I'm firing at the horse archers on both sides. we're going to send units up to protect our advancing troops, and I'm going to try and just absorb some missiles with these troops. I need Alexander to be ready to reinforce. Wow, that unit's getting hammered on. Because I'm pretty sure we'll see units sallying out of the gates. I'm going to move up all my troops. Really want to get on the walls as quickly as possible, though I do expect attacks from units like this. We've already got a Bactrian heavy horse sallying out. I'm going to try and get into them with Alexander. These guys can give you a lot of grief. Man, it's so much harder to get precise orders on Rome 1. Alright, so we've pinned the Persian. Wow, well, Memnon did not get away. This will be good. Let's kill these units early. Look, here comes this Barcanian horseman. I actually didn't remember that these guys were going to be there. I need to rout this main force, though. I'll see if I can pin down the Barcanians with my excess Hypaspis unit here. Really want to keep my Phalangist alive, and I'm only going to need a certain number of the other troops to pull this off. And we got another horse unit all over our flank here. Let's just keep putting the pressure on these horse units. Okay. So we've killed a pretty good number of all the horse units. The problem is they've successfully disrupted my assault on the walls. Pretty badly, actually. And those mounted archers are taking their toll. Come on. Alright. We've mopped up most of the enemy troops there. No. You all take the gate. Alright. Alexander's getting fired on. Let's get him out to safety. Alright, we should be ready to go ahead and assault the walls. And we've managed to get rid of all the enemy Barcanian cav and other stuff that sallies out against you early on. Get on the walls. And then you all go pick up these ladders and get on the walls as well. Get away from those flaming missiles. Alright. I'm going to move them over here to support. Yeah, my Cretan archers are just kind of keeping the enemy horsemen at bay. The AI does not go into melee combat with you here, which is good. We're finally at the walls. And I no longer need these guys in phalanx formation.
The towers are at the walls. Reinforce the attackers and crush the defenders.
These Hypaspis are having a hard time with the ladders. Yeah, it looks like my guys are going to head up the siege towers. We'll start mopping up the Persians on the walls. And I'm going to put a lot of pressure on over here as well.
Our soldiers have reached the walls with ladders. The bravest will soon be over the defenses.
Yeah, I'm going to get my Phalangist up on the walls as quickly as possible. I don't know why these ladders are glitched out, but I can't seem to move them. Yeah, my guys have dropped the ladders over here. We'll just ignore it. Let's just see if we can get these guys to safety. I could use them later in this fight. Let's see. These guys are actually firing into the back of my infantry, which is quite bad. Let's take Alexander and just see if we can get lucky and catch them. It's unlikely. And then it looks like I've either chased off or routed their guys over there. It is still on restricted camera. Let me fix that real quick. Drives me nuts. It resets every time. Okay. I don't really want Alexander to get shot to pieces by these horse archers, and the skirmish function is very much alive in Rome 1. There's some Mardian archers up here giving me grief as well. Alright, we got immortals awaiting us at the top of the walls. got away with a lot of my troops here. Wasn't pretty, but we did get it. Oh, Alexander did catch those horse archers. Good for him. Sweet. And these guys fight down almost to the last man. Sweet. My Cretans are all out of ammo, though, but it's kind of worth it to keep those horse archers off our case. I am going to bring all these units over the walls eventually, but for now, let's just pull them up out here. Really? One horse archer? Now he's going to skirmish away from me, of course. Let's use these Cretans to attack him. Alright, my men are up the walls and taking on the Persian immortals. And then I'm going to take this second unit as soon as it gets up on the wall and go after these Mardian archers that are shooting me in the back. And then over here, my men are about to come out of the siege tower. Alright. Alright, Mardian archers are coming after me now. And it seems like, if I remember right, your phalangists do pretty well in this particular fight against the troops on the wall. What do we have routing here? Sweet, we have a unit of immortals routing already. Here comes my men down into these Mardian archers. And they're going to start dropping pretty rapidly. And then most of the immortals have made their way to the other side of the gatehouse. Those Mardian archers instantly collapsed. And so I'm going to have to finish cutting my way through them, though, to get to the gatehouse. And then the rest of my troops are making their way up the tower. It can be pretty frustrating if the enemy archers manage to burn your towers on this particular mission, because you can't burn the gates in Rome 1. No torches, no gate burning, which some of you will probably be pretty happy about. I know it didn't irritate me near as bad as it did others, but yeah, some people really hate the gate burning. And it looks like I've got the bulk of my phalangist alive. We're going to need them because there's going to be a considerable opposition at the town center. I've only got so many of my high pacifists left either, but they're going to be a very handy unit here as well. And in this particular mission, if I remember right, your phalangists are going to be superior to the enemy hoplites, which is not the case in the Granicus battle. Okay. You guys want to hurry out of that sometime? You guys are taking their sweet, sweet time coming up the ladders, getting attacked from behind by Mardian archers at this point. Let's see if we can try and focus one of these units. Alright, we busted through the Mardians. Let's get into the back of these immortals. I want to rout them. And then that should help us capture the gatehouse, and I'll bring in Alexander closer to try and inspire my men.
Great gods!
Okay.
Our soldiers have done well this day. The walls are taken.
Alright, we're going to get inside. And then I'll leave these other units to fight back these Mardian archers. I'm not really worried about these guys. They do have epic beards, though. You got to watch out for that. Gives them a bonus in combat. Scare effect from beard. Okay. So I have Alexander nearby, and these guys are distraught, and now they're going to rout. All the units up here rout. Good. So now we can just focus on getting my men up to the top of the wall, finishing off all the remaining troops. They will fight to the death, though, so it'll take a while, and I'll lose a few more men, unfortunately. But it shouldn't be terrible losses at this point. Okay. I am just going to keep the fast forward going, though, for the time being, because it can take some time to finish off this process. We still got quite a fight left, though. There's going to be a lot of men left on the town square. Good grief, man. It took these guys forever. Like, going one by one up the ladder. And it looks like the last units over here are starting to give way under the pressure. Got a few immortals left. These guys will fight to the death on the wall because there's nowhere for them to flee. Okay. Let's see. So that is the end of all the enemy infantry on the walls. So I'm going to bring all my men down from the walls and let them rest. These guys are still figuring out how to climb a ladder. So for those of you who thought the siege AI in Rome 2 was the only one that's ever had a problem, think again. In fact, it's actually working rather clean compared to some of the others. And not that the Rome 1 one acts bad. I mean, it works pretty well, all things considered. But yeah, I mean, Empire Total War, you could like barely get your men through the gates sometimes. So I just still think it's funny that like so many people were mad over the launch of Rome 2, and understandably so because it came out in rough shape. They were so mad that they just like completely ignored the fact that a lot of the other games had similar issues. Now, yes, we did not expect to find it in a brand new game. I get it. I'm not trying to argue against it. I just think it's interesting to me that so many people kept that grudge, even though it was nothing different than what we had seen before with like certain struggles from the AI. I'm trying to think of the best way to handle this. I mean, eventually all of these enemy hoplite units will come to face you. I do have plenty of cav left with Alexander, so we can use him to run down these remaining units. We killed the general early on, but the guys will fight to the death in the town center, unfortunately. So what I'd like to do is try and lure their guys off the town center. Otherwise, we're going to have to kill them to the last man. All my units are tired, though, so I'm just going to keep fast-forwarding. No sense in these guys being winded. Yeah, it looks like we're getting close. This battle takes considerably longer. Let's see. All my guys are pretty much there. Just have a few guys that are almost back to fresh. And they're going to be walking on this next round. I'm not going to run them. So everybody walk to here. And Hypaspis. I want all these units because they'll all come in handy for outflanking purposes. So now I've got all my units walking to the next location. I am going to keep an eye on them, though, to make sure that they actually pathfind correctly. When you're moving the camera around and stuff, though, it makes the fast forward not work, so I'm going to try and minimize that. Just keep an eye on them from a distance, and I'm walking because I don't want my men to be tired when we get to the town center. Yeah, so my Hypaspis should do well, or Phalangists should do well against these hoplites on the town square. And then what I want to do is just hold Alexander back until there's an opening. And rear charges of hoplites on the town square aren't bad, but it will get Alexander killed because, again, they'll fight to the last man. This unit's going to be a problem because it's going to want to run from me. These archers over here are going to be a problem. It's unfortunate that I had to use all my ammo early on in the battle trying to get rid of those horsemen. And then there is, let's see, another immortal unit hidden. Is that an immortal unit? No, that's a Cardian's, like, Cardicaes or whatever it is. I think it's some kind of spear unit. Let's just take a look around at some of the units. Make sure I'm not going to get like hit by a bunch more Barcanian horsemen or something. I don't see anything else. I don't think they can hide units from me. What is this unit here? Another Cardicae, I think. So, or whatever those units are called. I may not be pronouncing it right. I just remember that they had some kind of light or medium spear unit in this game. Okay, so we are at the next checkpoint already. Once we get over to this point, the Mardian archers hiding over here are going to start firing at my men. So I'm going to try and kind of gather myself and then run down the next leg of this. I'm going to save my Hypaspis back here in the back, and I'll show you why. They're going to be handy for flanking because my Phalangists are not going to be very maneuverable. Though pikes do considerably better in Rome 1 than they do in Rome 2 as far as actually engaging and fighting. But they can get bunched up in cities. It's definitely not their forte. Alright, the Mardian archers, I must still just be just outside their range. So here's what I want to do. I want to run down my Phalangist and try and engage as many of them against one unit as I can. I'm going to take them off guard mode so that they push into an enemy. And I'm going to actually take them out of phalanx mode for just a second as well. I'm going to run them down this way. And then I want to get these other units down here as well. And I want Alexander down here in a second. I want to make sure that the Mardian archers don't target Alexander, but I want to reinforce my men's morale with Alexander. I just don't want him to take losses to the Mardian archers. Because there are several bow units near on the town square. Okay. I want all my units to get a little closer. Here comes the fire from the Mardian archers. We've got to make an opening here, and pathfinding gets really stupid around the town squares. So it's something you're going to have to keep an eye on. And I'm just going to kind of blob attack with my phalanx units. Again, look at the pathfinding, extremely screwy. That's just kind of to be expected. Like I said, my men should do well against the enemy hoplites. I want a quick engagement here. It looks like these guys are actually moving away from me. I might be able to get Alexander onto the town center quicker. And these guys are getting beat down pretty hardcore. Okay, those guys are running away from me, so I'm just going to turn my back. And actually, no, I'm going to push forward. Get over here and support for Alexander. Okay, out of hoplite formation and run these guys down. I want to kill them while they're fleeing. Actually, let's use Alexander to hunt these guys down. Because as soon as they get back onto the town center, they're going to be unbreakable will. So the more of these guys that we can kill before then, the better. We've killed about 20 or 30 of them, which is great. Okay, oh crap, I got attacked from behind by these Cardaces. And I was right about their name. Well, maybe not pronouncing it, but... Okay, so Alexander's cav unit, get away from the regrouping phalangists. And then we'll attack them. Phalanx formation. Looks like we're going to kill the Scythian mounted archers, but we're going to have to watch out for that. Okay, we're also... Looks like we're kind of dealing these guys the business, slowly but surely. And those Scythian mounted archers are going down. Okay, get away from the phalanx unit. And let's bring these guys clean around and go after these Mardian archers. Yeah, my phalangists are definitely superior at this point. We might be able to run down these Mardians with my missile units. Oh, we got those Cardaces coming. I'll deal with them. But right now we have all the hoplites following Alexander, which is fine. I'm worried about the archer fire. There's only 5 spearmen here and I need them dead. Okay, there's more hoplites coming my way. I'm gonna try and rear attack these guys. Get rid of these Mardian archers. Okay, let's get onto the town center. I'm gonna turn one of those phalanx units. Looks like we're very near to success here. Alexander's killed the Mardian archers. We're gonna have to keep him clear of enemy enemy pike units though. Well, hoplite units, they just look like pikes. Okay, yeah, this is a problem. We're getting boxed in over here. And I know it looks like an easy getaway, but again, pathfinding can get screwy. See how it's already doing that a little? We've got to get Alexander clear of this fight. So I'm just going to have to force run through, which is going to be dangerous. He's going to lose some men. But it's completely necessary, and it looks like we are finally winding this down to where I want it to be. We're kind of pinning in the last few defending Persian units. They're going to be surrounded. They do have some more hoplites coming from this direction, though, so I'll engage them with one unit just to make sure they can't outflank me. And I know it looks like I'm badly outnumbered, and I am, but it should be alright. Okay, I'm engaging a couple of phalanx units here, and then I'm going to get them from behind, and then we're going to engage their hoplites here. Okay, let me look at my mini-map. I don't see anything else funky going on. Alexander's safe, that's important. All their hoplite units look like they're still trying to get to Alexander, which is kind of good, because their men are getting slain trying to get to Alexander. And I think I'm going to go behind him, try and flank him with some of these archers. Just any extra kills I can get. We want to speed the routing of these units. And again, like I said, I want to be careful of rear charges with Alexander because my infantry is really more capable of winning this fight. And you lose horsemen on rear charges in this game pretty bad. Yeah, I mean, look, we're mowing down the the Greek mercenary infantry over there. Oh, those Cardaces, though, are having an impact on this fight. I might lose that unit. And again, there's no reason for me to rear charge with Alexander here. These hoplites keep going after Alexander, and they're getting attacked from behind. And just a few Greek mercenary infantry left over here, 3 of them, and then I can bring all that infantry to bear on our last remaining threat. This is definitely a more challenging battle in the sense that the enemy has a lot of troops, and you take quite a few losses getting into the town. They've just routed another one of my phalangist units over here. And they are dead focused on Alexander. I have enough infantry to win this fight, though. If you lose Alexander, you lose the mission. So, something to be aware of. That's why I suggest being extremely careful with him on this mission. I want to get my phalangist over here, and I'm going to bring 1 unit around this way. And they very well, if you don't pay attention, they very well can catch Alexander because of the poor pathfinding. Okay, if they want to keep coming after Alexander, I'm just going to run my units into formation over here. And then just put Alexander behind the phalanx units. Okay. We should have the last bits of enemy infantry fixed. Though I have lost quite a bit of men. I think I'll finally bring Alexander around if I can. The enemy infantry, though, is dying. It's my pikemen. But again, remember, they have unbreakable will on the town center. And I see a few Mardian archers back there as well. If I am going to get a charge, though, I want it to be a nice, clean, full-speed charge. And let's hope to goodness that Alexander doesn't die. But let's see if we can save my men a few losses here. Yeah, see how Alexander took some losses on that charge. But I think we can clean this fight up. Yeah. Don't think we're at a huge risk of losing Alexander at this point. Alright. Let's get Alexander out. And then just fight down these last few Cardaces. And it looks like I cut down their, or I'm going to cut down their last few Mardian archers here in hand-to-hand combat. And then over here we just killed the last one, so glorious victory for Alexander. We've taken Halicarnassus. Definitely an interesting battle. If you all know a better way to win this one, let me know. This was the way that I figured out to do it, and it's an ugly way. As you can see that, you know, you kind of just have to cut it out to the last man. But if you know a better way to beat some of these units, I'd be curious to hear you. And hope you all enjoyed yet another Alexander, what do you call it, historical battle. Don't know why I'm missing words here. So Alexander getting the most kills again, 321. He ran down quite a few units, but some of my phalangists doing great. Not real impressed with the high pacifists on this mission. They didn't do so great. But in any case, hope you all enjoyed it. I will see you back soon with more Alexander battles.